In Australia, we are currently facing the issue of an ageing population. With the number of elderly citizens growing, there is an increasingly high demand for services designed to suit and assist this particular sector of the population. One service that is in particular demand by elderly citizens and their friends and family is transport. This demand is expected to grow as research shows people aged over 65 will make up approximately 25% of the entire Australian population by 2042. A large percentage of the elderly are not able to drive their own vehicles and rely heavily on family and friends to get them from A to B. This can take away their sense of independence and can be frustrating for both parties. So what if there was a service that could provide a solution to meet the needs and wants of this customer segment? The solution is Support Drive. Before any other aspect of the business could be established, the key focus was to identify the problems that were active within the existing market, as well as the jobs that needed to be done. So let's take a closer look. It was recognised that there were both functional and emotional jobs that needed to be done. The functional job was for senior members of the community to be able to travel to and from appointments when their family or friends could not take them. The social job was to provide the peace of mind that they will be able to travel safely and with the needs of their particular abilities in mind. The biggest frustrations that were identified to be associated with such jobs included having to take time off work, leading to a loss of productivity or getting into trouble from the boss, not knowing whether the passenger would arrive safely at their destination, not knowing how long the passenger would have to wait for the vehicle to arrive, not having the right vehicle to best suit the passenger's abilities, especially if they required wheelchair accessibility, a lack of communication, and cash handling with the risk of theft. The benefits that these customers were looking for from these jobs included the safety of the passengers to relieve unwanted stress and anxiety, hassle-free booking options, reduced waiting times, easy accessibility, financial security, clear communication, and passenger comfort. The solution to the customer's problem was to design a transport service which provided trained on-demand drivers who speak your language. Other features include cashless payments, convenient booking systems, tracking capabilities, and access to vehicles to suit all physical abilities. In addition to relieving customer frustration, the service also acts as a gain creator. These gain creators include time saving, money saving, convenience, and certainty. Now that the connection between the value proposition and the needs and the wants of the customer have been established, we're able to address how these can be embedded into a profitable and scalable model. So let's zoom back out and have a look at the rest of the business. Support Drive is a service-centric company which has a highly automated relationship with its customers. It channels its customers largely through its easy-to-use mobile app, but also through its website and direct telephone booking service. The revenue stream for Support Drive comes from its pay-per-ride charges as well as the state subsidy scheme through which they are able to reclaim money from the government when transporting passengers who are on a pension. The most important activities that Support Drive must do to ensure successful operation include platform development and fleet management. The resources needed to fulfill these activities include the platform itself, the vehicle fleet including accessible cars, as well as pricing and routing algorithms. The biggest costs involved comprise of marketing and advertising, platform development, salaries, driver payments, driver training, and special vehicle leasing, as well as additional in-vehicle services. As the customer identified passenger comfort as one of the most desired features, Support Drive responds to this by providing a training program to ensure drivers have basic first aid and knowledge of working with the elderly. Support Drive also offers its passengers additional comforts such as age-fitting music options and reading materials. Partnerships assist in the acquirement of resources such as the leasers who provide the accessible vehicles within Support Drive's fleet. Other key partners include its drivers, payment processors, mapping providers, aged care facilities, and the state government. By creating relationships with aged care facilities, the door is open for promotion to new customers, and in return, Support Drive offers discounted rates to its residents. Partnerships with payment processors are also vital in fulfilling the customer's demands in regards to cashless payments. Now that each element of the Support Drive business has been explained, we can now see how it fits as one complete model. Before establishing an appropriate business model for Support Drive, it was central to first understand the forces and trends that would be impacting the business externally. The market forces which were considered in the production of the business model included the growing population of elderly citizens within Australia. Key trends include evolving technology, which businesses such as Support Drive must adapt to survive or risk other businesses emerging who have successfully adapted and taking their customers. Regulatory trends in regards to its partnership with the state government also means that any changes made to the scheme by the state government must be relayed through the business. In regards to industry forces, through market research, it was established that although there were competitors offering on-demand services and accessible vehicles, there were still frustrations affecting the market and thus were translated into Support Drive's value proposition canvas. Macroeconomic forces include rising petrol prices and political pressure, both of which could seriously affect the operation of the business. Just as it is important to recognize the external factors which affect the support drive business model, it is also valuable to acknowledge its limitations. By acknowledging its limitations, there is an opportunity created for future review and development. Limitations which have been identified include the ability to provide drivers who can speak your language to reduce language barriers. It may be difficult to find enough drivers with the specialized language skills that are required by the passengers, especially for minority ethnic groups. To somewhat relieve this pressure, Support Drive makes it a requirement that all drivers must be fluent in English. It can be assumed from market research that very few, if any, of the passengers actually using the service will own or know how to use a smart device. This is not a limitation if we assume that it's a family or friend of the passenger who will be booking the service. However, those without family or friends to do so must also be taken into account. This is why there is a direct telephone booking service available. Uber is a service that also offers on-demand transport through a smart device booking system. Support Drive and Uber share many common characteristics within their business model. However, it is Support Drive's specific value propositions aimed at the needs and the wants of the customer segment which sets it apart from Uber. Uber have recently introduced wheelchair-accessible vehicles through the launch of their Uber Assist service, which may attract some of the same Support Drive customers. The information presented throughout this presentation demonstrates why there is a place in the market for Support Drive. The growing population of elderly citizens within the Australian community means there is going to be an increasing demand for services to assist in the daily needs of this sizable segment. Support Drive will provide a service that meets the frustrations that exist within the current transport market while also offering additional value to its customers. Thank you for listening to my presentation.